Ghosts, spirits, werewolves, skeleton warriors. Science tells us that these things not only exist, they attack us in our own homes every single day. We know these things exist in our world. Video games also exist in our world, so is it fair to speculate, or is that spectaculate, that these things are also haunted? My name is Michael Noctule. Welcome to Ghost Fishing.
What was that? 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 Is anyone there? Is anyone there? Is anyone there? Is anyone there? Fishing ghosts. Did you see that? Did you see that? I feel like this ghost is invading my personal space. The world is a lake full of ghosts. Ghost fishing.
In this videographical series, we'll be taking a closer look at the myths, creepy tales and mysteries from the world of video games. We'll be looking at stories sourced from forums and social media sites and other reliable places like that. Today, we'll be looking at one story in particular. The story of one little boy haunting one game cartridge for the Nintendo 64.
The game in question is a copy of Nintendo 64 classic Majoras Mask. Its owner has long reported that the game is haunted by the ghost of a small boy called Ben. Joining me in my investigations will be parapsychologist and financial advisor Berrwick Aconda. He doesn't know anything about the location that I've brought him to today, or the subject of our investigation. It would have been literally impossible for him to look this story up on Wikipedia before coming.
So Berek, tell me in your experience as a spiritualist medium and financial advisor. Let me just get that for you. Okay, all right, that's off, and that's over there now. Have you ever encountered anything like a haunted games cartridge?
I've got to be honest, Michael. Not in this lifetime. No. Although I am led to believe that a video game, a console or peripheral, like a charging cable, for example. Yeah. Thank you. Yes. Okay, thank you, Terry. Yeah, okay. So yeah, Terry has indeed confirmed that yes, a spirit could in fact, inhabit a video game or a console.
Okay, let me just ask you real quick. All this that happened then, was that bollocks?
No, listen. Yeah, well, when I was very young, I noticed there was a strange man around me when I was bathing.
Well, that does sound normal.
And all I can tell you is that when I said to my friends and my family, "Are you seeing this man in the corner of the room?" They said no. I started a dialogue with the man, and it turned out his name was Terry. He's recently passed. He's from Worcester.
Well, I will be honest with you, Berek, that does sound made up. However, there is an instance apparently online, story circulating, if you will, of a cartridge haunted by a small boy. What do you make of that?
At this point in our conversation, our main microphones failed. The audio you're about to hear was picked up from our cameras, which fortunately were still functioning to capture the following phenomenon.
Did you hear that, Emmi? Can anyone hear that? Is there anyone there? I can feel a trembling here.
Are there any spirits present here in this field? Present here in this field.
Who's there? Who the fuck is it? Show yourself, you coward!
I am being made aware of a presence.
Is this Terry?
The presence is coming from this direction here.
Right.
Terry, as always, is behind me. Oh, he loved Nintendo. Oh, loved Nintendo. He did.
Okay.
And the boy's name was Ben, and he loved Nintendo. Okay. The game I'm hearing from Terry, and excuse me if I'm saying this wrong, it's Zelda. Quite clearly in my head, Zelda. Majora's Mask.
Well, that is surprisingly spot on. Actually, I wasn't expecting you to get that.
Cause of death, Terry is telling me. Hang on. Okay, Ben drowned.
It seemed that before we'd even started the investigation, we had already made some kind of contact. Berrwick Aconda was suspiciously spot on. I guess he must really have psychic abilities. But before we step through the nightmare fog, that's a little Bloodborne reference there, this is a gaming channel, I must warn you, much of what you're about to hear is factual information based in reality, approved by scientists.
It is scientist. Like one scientist. All right.
Let us begin. The story of this haunted Majoras Mask cartridge first emerged online on the 7th of September 2010. The unsettling story was posted on the website 4chan. Since then, it's gone on to disgust and horrify the public at large. 4chan, that is. That website is horrible. But Ben drowned is quite bad too, and is perhaps the creepiest and best known instance of a haunted video game that we know of. The story goes a little bit like this. In 2010, 4chan user Alex Hall posted a lengthy account of exactly what happened when he was given a rather old, used Nintendo 64 cartridge. It was a copy of Majora's Mask given to him by a peculiar looking man at one of those garage sales. Garage sales the Americans have on their big American lawns. The man behaved strangely and he seemed to be blind in one eye. Not that matters. I don't know why that's a detail. It looked like any other copy of the game, except it had the word Majora scribbled on the back of it in permanent black marker. As Alex left the garage sale, the man shouted after him, "Goodbye then!" But when Alex went home and fired up the game, there was a save file on there already, named Ben.
And that's really when it struck him. Goodbye then? No, that's not what he said. He said, goodbye, Ben. But what did that really mean?
Alex overwrote the file with his own save, not thinking much of it, and jumped into the game. And that's when some rather unsettling things started to happen. Majora's Mask has a simple but enjoyable feature in which the name you give your character is used in dialogue by other characters in the game. Well, NPCs, the other characters in the game, were still calling Alex's character by the name Ben. Now, the name Ben should have been wiped clean from the game cartridge when Alex deleted the save. But there it remained, embedded in the dialogue, as if the game didn't want to forget its previous owner.
So a lot of people ask me, they say to me, Berek, they say to me, when my mother or my sister or anyone I know passes on, what is left? What I do see, sometimes it is in fact their spirits. But one thing that doesn't leave is their save data.
Alex tried to trigger a well-known glitch in the game which gives players more time to play, and that's when the true horror that haunted his game cartridge arose to life. The game's music began to run backwards. The other characters in the game, those NPCs that earlier had clung on to the name Ben, despite that information being deleted from the game, they disappeared. Alex found himself alone in the game, followed only by a stiff statue of the game's main character, Link.
Games like this are kind of honeypots for spectres, with themes of time and life and death being nectar of the damned, or what have you. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Terry. Yeah. Yeah, so Terry says his favourite game is Spec Ops: The Line.
Then the game began to kill Alex's character over and over again. Taunting him with words and phrases so unbelievably unsettling, they're best left unsaid. Now what I've done there is a nice little storytelling trick, right? So by not telling you what the game said, your brain just kind of runs away with the possibilities. You're not even thinking about what it could have been, because just not knowing what it was is scary. That's good, isn't it?
The more Alex played, the stranger things became. It almost got to the point where it seemed like the game cartridge, this Nintendo cartridge, was communicating directly to him. It was saying, "Hey you, I'm doing some scary shit and I'm throwing it your way." It told him that Ben, who we can assume was the game's previous owner, had died. As Berrwick Aconda, spiritualist medium and financial advisor, told us earlier, he drowned. The story goes on for quite a bit longer, actually. It's too long. It's too long, mate. The story's too long. Too long. Alex returned to the game to find that his save file was gone, replaced with Ben's and another called simply Your Turn.
To investigate this further, I asked Berek to conduct a seance in an effort to make contact with Ben's spirit. I must warn you, much of what you're about to see here is distressing. This is only part of the footage that we in fact captured. We were simply not allowed to show you the rest of it because of how graphic the content was.
We've taken the investigation indoors. We are currently conducting a seance. Berrwick Aconda is already under. We did not want to show that process on camera because it can be distressing and upsetting. He's now focused on these 4 letters before us. We did try to get hold of a cartridge of Majoras Mask, but that was just someone forgot. So what we're going to do instead is try and communicate with the lost spirit that is Ben, if indeed that is his name, which, you know, that's the name of the story, so why wouldn't it be? So we've managed to get one of the letters, which is B, with these coasters that we had just lying around. We couldn't actually draw up a, is it Ouija board? So we've got the letter B, so that might, you know, might get something out of that. Ben, are you with us in the building? Ben?
Yeah,
Benjamin,
yes.
perhaps? Would you prefer if we called you Benjamin?
Who are you?
If you hit X for us, Ben, if you like Nintendo. You said in the story that you like Nintendo. Why?
Because it killed me.
There's a revelation then. Berek Aconda has uncovered that not only did Ben drown, he was killed by Nintendo. Berek. Berek's gone under. Okay, Berek. Okay, this is amazing. This is just incredible. Although it does always seem to stop when you take your hand off it, Berek.
What I am noticing, okay, is Ben drowned. Ben drowned.
Oh my God!
Ben drowned.
Liam, get out! Just get out of here, Liam. Get out of here.
Ben drowned.
Okay,
Ben
keep yourself
drowned.
safe.
Ben drowned. Ben drowned.
This guy's a lunatic. So, is Alex Hall's copy of The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask really haunted by the spirit of its previous owner? I think we've proven pretty conclusively that absolutely 100% yes, that is the case. Does Berek Aconda have the power to contact the dead? Yes. Yes, he does. Was this entire video an absolute waste of our time and yours? Well, we can't solve all the mysteries.
So why not join us next time for more ghost fishing, where we'll be looking at some of the abandoned MMO servers in video games or something like that. I haven't really planned it out yet. Until next time, sleep tight. Did you see that? I feel like this ghost is invading my personal space.